All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer, Brian the Grizzly, and Brandman Brandon, and we are talking X-Men 97, episode 8.
Brian, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Got the suit and all, man. So man. Yeah. So I know we were already kind of talking about it. How'd you guys like the episode right off the bat? What you guys think?
Dude, freaking I know I say this every episode, but holy crap. I just feel like they top themselves more and more with each episode. Um I'm so invested in it, and kind of how they're bringing everything full circle with Bastion. That he's like the mastermind of this big scheme. I didn't see that coming. It's really kind of like keeping me surprised and going like, holy crap, at every turn. They're really making use of the characters' powers, like what they can do. Like the Nightcrawler scene, the Nightcrawler and Wolverine team up. Heck, the scene with Wolverine like free falling and slicing through like the human Sentinel hybrids. And
Yeah.
it's interesting to see Wolverine like technically cut through people, because in the original cartoon it was only like robots or machines or stuff like that. So they're going all the way with that. Like Scott G, like the whole Summers family got their moment of shine.
Yeah, that was cool. Make it happen.
That
was cool.
You can't tell me with him like getting into the sports car that wasn't them dunking on Bryan Singer again.
It was 100%.
Wait a minute, he goes behind Porsche and he kind of just looks behind him and was like, nice.
Yeah, Bryan Singer had that dunking coming 20 something years in the making. No, like the way that they're writing it, it makes you kind of go back and appreciate the original show as an adult. And this one, it really like it grew up as we grew up, which I think was a great creative decision. And I really like what they do with the animation more and more with each episode. It seems like with a lot of the action sequences and a lot of the scenarios that they do, like the color scheme really like pops, and like it's an artistic decision for the narrative of the show rather than updating just for the sake of updating, which I appreciate. Yeah, I've already rewatched it like 4 times.
Yeah, same.
Is that happy with it?
Yeah. I love the Cable Scott tension.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too. They don't overdo it, and it's easy to overdo like the father son.
Yeah, come and try to be a father. That was
awesome. Yeah. I think they handle it just right. And there's stakes. There's real like legitimate stakes, like just all around the table with the X-Men getting framed, these human Sentinels, character deaths, whatever's going to happen with Magneto.
Beast and the old girl, and she's coming after him, and everyone's Sentinel. And oh man, with Sunspot, what his mom did to him, and oh my god, that was Jubilee. I thought that was awful. And that wasn't a Sentinel. That was just her being an ass.
Just a bad person. Yeah. Yeah. It's just crazy like how much the show touches on like racism, and how upset people were at the beginning, before the beginning of as soon as they saw little clips of the show, and like that is like, it doesn't even matter if like it's family, you know what I mean? Like a shitty person is a shitty person, and
it was all about that money.
The money, it was all about the money. So I'm kind of curious to see more into him, because they are changing him a little bit, because a lot of people are like they're whitewashing the character, which I can't say they're not, they definitely are, but it seems like they're kind of changing a little bit. So I'm kind of curious. I don't know too much about Sunspot, but I'm kind of curious who the dad is, because they haven't shown the dad yet. So I feel like they can go some cool story
Yeah.
with him with that. But yeah, just overall, like how just like the racism, even like them becoming the what are they, Prime Sentinels, like was basically they're like, oh, we don't want to be left behind, so we're gonna become robot versions of mutants. It was like so you're that angry and that like afraid, of these other people that you're willing to like lose your humanity, you know, just because you're scared, you know. So yeah, it was. I thought that was like insane, but even like they did like a lot of real world shit, where they're like oh they literally they took our jobs was in this episode, when
Exactly.
Bastion was like, like oh yeah, well one mutant could do the job of like 10 people, and that even cuts back to the old shit with Colossus from the 90s, where Colossus was doing all the like the construction work, I think, or might have been farm work or whatever, and I think it was construction.
Yeah, I think it's construction.
Yeah, but all the people were mad. They're like, "Oh, hey, he's doing all this shit." It was, so they getting a lot into that. Yeah, but stuff in this episode was all over the place with when it comes to Easter eggs. I mean, like it had its overall story, but the more I rewatched, the more little things I noticed and started picking up on.
Yeah.
Which was the best.
I was so happy to see Spider-Man show up at the end. You guys know that's Spider-Man's my guy. After that, I'm like now I really need Spider-Man 98. Do Spider-Man 98.
You know he's in the same universe, so that's maybe
he's in the same universe. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite cameos of the season.
Yeah. Of this episode, how many freaking cameo we got? Like, spoiler.
Yeah, we had friggin' Omega Red, Silver Samurai showed up.
That was kind of cool. In the cameras, all the people that Bastion was talking to. We had Dr. Doom.
Yeah,
it was so cool to see Dr. Doom, and even Dr. Doom was kind of like, "Hey, I'm not digging this genocide shit you're doing over here, man."
Yep.
So that was kind of interesting, to see from him. I mean, because especially his character and everything that happened to him when he was younger, with stuff like that. So I thought it was kind of cool. Who else did he see on the screens? There's another villain. I'm drawing a blank. Zemo. I think it was Zemo, wasn't it?
I think you're right.
I think it was Zemo, comic book Zemo. I think.
Okay.
I think, I mean, yeah.
Omega Mary, just remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, Omega Red was really cool. It made me smile too because you're getting into some cool Wolverine shit. Hopefully, that's the return of Colossus. I mean, a lot of it was like Easter eggs to like other stuff and stuff that we might be seeing in the future. Because Omega Red and Colossus, Silver Samurai, Wolverine. That could be a whole mini side story that they decide to go down again. It was a comic book accurate Zemo. Dr. Doom. So are we gonna see Fantastic Four, seeing Spider-Man, but seeing the Spider-Man we know, like from the 90s, that because it was that Spider-Man, the suit was showing it.
I mean, I want to read my what I said to you guys when I was watching this show. I said, "Holy shit, this episode is crazy." Then I said, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what the fuck?" And that's so I love this show. Don't think I can wait another week to see the next part. That's how I left out.
I legit have no idea what I'm gonna do between episodes.
It's literally that meme when you got the guy standing out by the fence and looking up in the sky and all that stuff. That's me sitting on the park bench. Like, man, how I'm gonna get through this? I don't know. This is it's so hard to figure this stuff out. I loved it. And it's funny because I got less. I told you another episode we didn't get Storm, so that's going to be my complaint. Of course, that's my complaint because I told
Mhm.
you we're not
Yeah.
going to get her. Right? This is what it is. The storyline's going to. So you've gotten less Storm, but as I digress,
Mhm.
I thought that it's done so well. Their character development, they're caring about the different storylines they're meshing together.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
doing it 100% right. I love all the villains and the characters and villains acting like villains. Because Sinister is not like, oh yeah, I'm just going to listen to what he's saying. He's like, no, bad shit thinks I'm doing this, but I'm about to do this. So I thought
Mhm.
he was good. I saw a meme with Magneto, and he was sitting in his boxers, or whatever, and the Mr. Incredible little thing, and they had P Diddy right behind him. Like
Oh,
take that.
jeez.
I thought that was hilarious. But
Uh,
I'm glad that he was released, and then but what he did, it
mm,
was so Omega level. It is on a
mhm.
different level of Omega level. Like you took all electricity away from everybody on Earth.
Yeah.
Anything that's like he became an EMP.
Yeah.
He went to a pole and became an EMP. Who
Mhm.
the hell knew he could do that?
Yeah. Right?
But it totally makes sense. But in his character and his power set, it makes sense.
Mhm.
But what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was amazing. Rogue is amazing. Uh, Nightcrawler was so badass with the other sword with his tail, and then just
Yeah.
Mhm.
popping in, popping out, popping in, popping out, doing all those things. Wolverine. This was the first episode that he was really amazing.
Mhm.
Mm.
Like
Like that's what I appreciate about this show. Like they're doing stuff with the characters' powers. They're showing really what they're capable of, and you know, and I'm so sorry to be like to sound like I'm picking on the movies, the live action movies, but they're like showcasing their powers in ways that the movies just didn't or
Yeah.
wouldn't or whatever you want to call it. But maybe that's a reason that the maybe animation works a lot more to X-Men's advantage than live action does. Um,
Mm.
there's just more you can do, or more that they are doing in this case. Which
that was what
Yeah.
it was. The Juggernaut. That was the one I was forgetting.
Oh, what Morph?
mm,
Well, yeah, Morph turns
they
into the Juggernaut.
Took the Juggernaut's
they
form.
Yeah.
they always get me when it comes to Morph. I'm like, oh, Juggernaut showed up. Oh, Quicksilver showed up. Oh, Deathstrike showed up. Psylocke. Oh, it's just Morph.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I like that they're doing more with him. You know,
Mhm.
just showcasing what the characters can do.
Yeah. I mean, I like out of all the hate he was getting before the season started, I think we've seen the least from him. You know what I mean? Like he shows up and he'll be Angel or he'll be Psylocke or Juggernaut, but that's kind of all he's been doing, which is
But
fine.
that's how
I
it
don't want
should be.
yeah.
He's a level character. Like I don't need a lot from that's me being generous. Saying he's a B
Yeah.
level character.
Yeah.
He's a C level character, C minus level character. So him not
Mhm.
being in it that much doesn't hurt anybody. Doesn't mess anyone up. He's
Yeah.
not
Yeah, I agree.
that importance. Um,
I thought he was gonna be more important because of his history with Sinister.
Sinister.
And they
Mm.
really didn't go down that road at all, which is fine, like move on to another story, which is, they do a few times very quickly.
Dude,
Which
how did you guys feel about that Nightcrawler where he's talking about Rogue and what family is and the people that are around you? And I mean
yeah.
that
Well, I think
speech.
I heard Gina about that, about
It's on the
what
gene about it,
family.
yeah.
Yeah,
But he's
because
about Rogue.
yeah,
You
because
know,
Rogue was still passed out this episode, which kind of surprised me. I thought she was gonna wake up at the end and kick some ass, but she was still passed out.
but that was cool
Um,
how Wolverine and Nightcrawler were protecting her
yeah,
Mhm.
through
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Yeah, but what with the Nightcrawler? I remember the first time I watched that. I rewound it and listen again to what he said, because it was just so, it was really cool. It was really cool talking about what family is, and he did his whole story is like, you know, who's his adopted sister, but all they see is, you know, their siblings. They don't see like, well, technically adopted. Like, no, we're family. You know what I mean? And I was like, if these two people can consider them each other family, you know, then everything that Gene and Cable and Scott are going through, you know, shouldn't
No
be
longer
as difficult. Yeah.
exactly.
You know, and that whole scene with the Summers like road trip kind of thing they were doing, whatever it was called, that was super cool. You know, but it was like, it was such a great moment with Nightcrawler explaining to her about, like, if you remember him kicking, you know, when he was, when you were still pregnant, you know, if you remember this, is like, then what does it matter? Like, you remember, you have those feelings, you have those memories, and I thought that was
Right.
like super cool. You know,
Create your
if
own
you,
reality with your own
yeah,
memories. So why not? Why not
yeah,
just treat them as that's what it was?
yeah,
I had that experience. I was there just like she was. So yeah, it really happened.
yeah. And I think that's what they're gonna wind up kind of doing, is taking Madeline Pryor and merging her back with Jean, and then that they could play, how many versions of different characters are going to be living inside of Jean. You got Phoenix, Dark Phoenix. Now you got Madeline Pryor, you get Jean Grey. What was her Marvel girl?
Marvel.
Whatever her
Marvel
name.
area.
It's like there's so many versions of her. Now that lives in her brain. So that could be a cool thing. But her having the memories of Cable, even though technically Cable doesn't see her as the mom. That was super. The whole thing was cool with that. But what'd you guys think about Nightcrawler teleporting, and we were there in the teleport, and you saw Wolverine in the teleport,
That was awesome.
right?
Doing it in cartoon and for be able to pull that off, Bo deserves something. He needs like an Emmy. Old man needs an Emmy or an award or at least a hug or something. Something special.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that would
Kevin Feige will
movie.
reinstate him if he knows what's good for him.
He's got to. Especially after this. I mean, I want to know why he got fired. Because is it worth losing out on somebody as great creatively as what he's given us? I don't know. Because after this, if he doesn't get a job with Marvel, I'm sure there's a bunch of other companies that will gladly bring him on. James Gunn. What if James Gunn's like, hey, you want to come over here? We got a lot of cartoons we want to do.
Can you imagine him all of a sudden be leading animation?
Like
they let him lead animation.
Yeah. But this whole episode was the Magneto thing at the end. I wasn't sure what he was gonna do, because he's like fairly unclothed. I think he just got his underwear on, and he's floating in the
Arctic.
Not the
He
Arctic.
went to a pole.
Like,
he went to a pole.
I think he went to the North Pole, right? So
the South Pole, but whatever, it's the pole, because it's the opposite of what he does. So like he's taking the magnetic pole and becoming an EMP, knocking all power, everything. Civilization ceases to exist if you don't have electricity. And he took it all away, and that was epic.
I wasn't sure.
That was awesome.
I'm like, is he just gonna lift? At first I thought he was gonna lift a chunk of the earth and like, all right, fuck it, we're going to space. Because at the beginning of the episode, during the intro, they showed his little space colony that he started to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, is he gonna redo it? I mean, is he gonna just grab a chunk of land from Earth and just go into space? And he goes like, fuck you guys. I'm gonna make my own planet, and do that again. But what he did was better. It was just badass.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what Magneto does next. And this was basically him like, you know what, dudes, I tried to do this the right way. I tried to do right by my boy Charles, but
Yeah. You're making me do this.
What
Yep.
What do you guys think about the whole idea that Bishop and Cable were separated, and Cable had to go through all those years without Bishop being able to find him?
It adds an extra layer.
Yeah.
So like he grew up totally alone, without Cable, without Bishop. I mean, without anything. So Cable just was on his own, had to figure out stuff on his own. So Scott sent him away to have a better life, and he ended up being by himself.
Yeah. Yeah. In a shittier world and a horrible future and all by yourself. Yeah. Yeah. It like Brian said, it's just another layer of a character that is super complicated, and we got the Cable that we got in Deadpool 2, and he was a cool Cable, but this Cable is so much more interesting. So much more interesting.
They said that they're not going to go back in time. Cable's not going to go back in time and save Gambit or save any of these people. That's not going to happen. But Bishop is not around right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that Bishop, by the end of the episode, like go through everything, he brings them back because he went back in the past and saved them?
So I don't know if that's gonna do it. So like, because you're talking about traveling back in the past, they brought it up. I think Beast brought it up that this is an absolute period or absolute time
Genosha
point.
is. Genosha.
Yeah, the Genosha, and that's what Cable was trying to stop. And he said no matter what you do, he couldn't stop Genosha from happening. So but that's super interesting because like I forgot who I was watching. I think it was Screen Crush, and he showed other times that they talked about absolute points. Was the bald chick from Doctor Strange? She talks about it. Doctor Strange in What If, is talked about it from the Watcher. Like this is an absolute point. Like you cannot stop her from dying. She's always gonna die no matter what you do, always, forever.
Spider-Man.
Then the whole Spider-Man thing, the canon events. That's what I was thinking too. So I was like, which kind of sucks because like, do we not get Gambit back? I'm gonna be kind of pissed if we don't get Gambit back because as much as his death was very impactful, I still want him back. I love the guy, man. Like he's such a cool character.
Would you be surprised if it takes 3 years to get him?
Yeah, I don't know. Be surprised. I'll be upset. Yeah. I'll be kind of like
it's probably gonna be 3 years between this and season 2 anyway. So yeah,
season 2's already done. I think we get that by the end of the year.
Yeah, we get that pretty. I don't know. Any year would be awesome. I don't know though, but
I think Christmas time when all kids are out of school and the focus could be on one thing, I think it'll be on X-Men season 2.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
One for subscribing. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, did I miss it?
Oh, Tank missed it. Yeah.
My bad. I was trying to pull something up. I'm sorry. That's gonna pop up in our chat. But yeah, I think we get it sooner than later. Where I was like, oh, Xavier, here you go. Xavier said it's gonna be torture waiting for season 2. It's especially if season 1 or this season ends anything how these episodes have been ending, and it's just been getting more and more extravagant on how they're ending each episode leading up to the next one. How they end the season it's got to be one of the best things that they're gonna do. I think like it's gonna be so epic. It's gonna be so epic.
I think so too, and I think they're going to have a cameo or something else, like what to expect from where they're going to go from here. Man, I don't know what what can Professor X say when Charles Xavier comes in to his PE's group? My X-Men come to me. What the hell can you tell me after Magneto just took all electricity off the Earth?
Sorry, I was off getting laid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you're in Genosha and Magneto's the only one that was here to protect us there,
Mhm.
and you want to come in, fly in with your bird woman, Birdman, and come in and try to do all that. I don't know what he can say to bring people to trust him again. I can see Scott turn his back on him.
Yeah.
Mhm. Scott's gonna take it the hardest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you saw his face when the report came out.
Mhm.
And that really hurt him. I think Storm would totally understand. She's gonna come in, oh yeah, I got it. But Scott's gonna be like, but he lied to us.
Yeah. 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 Because it was just like his, quote unquote dad almost, he saw Xavier as his dad. So like, you know, went to go get fixed and never came back. So
That's what he said
there
though,
you go.
too.
Thank you for the sub.
Mhm.
Yeah. So man, I think at the end of this season we might see Magneto doing his Brotherhood stuff again. I think we're gonna see Xavier doing New Mutants. I think we're gonna see a New Mutants, and then I could see Cyclops doing like X-Men kind of,
X-Force?
I don't know if X-Force, but like his version of X-Men, which probably be close to X-Men, but it'll be more like of when he when he goes to does Genosha, I think, or
Mhm.
was it Genosha? Yeah, where he like leaves and he's like the leader, but he's very no more school, like everyone's a soldier type of shit, you know.
Mhm.
So I think we might have like three, factions.
Oh, all I gotta say about all that is oh man, so good.